Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. If you're just tuning in, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But we do have a pretty decent severe thunderstorm warning. There is literally only one severe thunderstorm warning right now. This one specifically is producing winds currently above 85 miles per hour. It obviously has just been reported not too long ago over in Chiro. That's pretty much just north of La Junta, near Ontario County, Colorado. There was an 87 mile per hour damaging wind gust. So that's our latest report on this storm. That's, again, the main reason why we're going live. A very destructive supercell currently moving off to the north right now in Colorado. Ordway will probably be in the track of this, along with areas like Rockyford, probably just off to the west of that now. But the overall storm, where the highest wind speeds are right now, is likely embedded in that little storm there, currently near Chiro as of right now, moving off to the north. So a very potent storm. Again, it is currently warned as a destructive supercell for damaging winds up to 90 miles per hour. So it is a very destructive cell currently moving off to the north as of right now. So definitely a dangerous cell to watch very closely. Other than that, obviously, this is just one warning that we have as of right now. Beyond that, there is no severe weather, but I just wanted to go live for at least a few minutes on this. We won't probably be live too long, unless something starts to brew up this direction. We also have a line of storms currently ongoing back up in northern Iowa and southeastern Minnesota. None of this is severe right now. We did have a 60 mile per hour damaging wind gust earlier, but beyond that, nothing really too crazy up there near Mason City as well as Rochester. Mostly just strong storms. We had a couple of wind gusts near 70 actually in southwest Wyoming today near Altamont. So obviously, we've seen some severe weather today. For the most part, though, we're not looking at anything overly organized besides the one up in Iowa. But as of right now, none of it is severe at this given time. Maybe a little bit later, though. We'll have to watch that still pretty closely. But again, 87 mile per hour wind gusts. Crazy stuff here in Colorado today, without a doubt. I hope everybody's doing well, by the way. Hello, hello, hello. Again, I'm not sure how long this live stream will be, but we'll see. You're good, Virginia. You're good. Yeah, this is kind of funny. I'll go and show you guys. If you guys aren't on our Discord server, you probably didn't see it. The warning was originally, or the source said a 555 mile per hour wind gust. Like, obviously it was a typo. I don't know what the wind gust actually was. It must have been like 75 or something, but that was the original, the source of the warning before. It's kind of funny. So apparently there was a 555 mile per hour wind gust. Something absolutely insane happened here. But again, our latest report was 87 miles per hour in Ontario County, Colorado. So definitely a crazy sight to see here. Hey, Roggy, how you doing? Welcome back. You guys are all doing well. Yeah, again, I'm not sure how long this live stream will be. We'll see. Again, it's going to depend on what we see in Iowa and Minnesota. I might only have this like 10 minutes. We'll see. As the warning is right now, it actually got downgraded back to 60 mile per hour winds, but I definitely can't rule out we're still looking a little bit higher. But an 87 mile per hour wind gust, that's crazy. I mean, we don't usually see that, especially with storms like this where I don't even think we have a risk down here. Here's a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Actually, I might be live for a little while because our next outlook comes out at 8. We'll kind of see what happens. But as of right now, you can see there's a slight risk back up in Iowa, western Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota. Outside of that, a marginal threat through Wisconsin as well as through Wyoming. Again, we might see some more storm activity develop. We do have obviously some storms that will probably develop down here as well, but nothing was expected in terms of an 87 mile per hour wind gust. But obviously, we do sometimes see these sporadic storms like this that produce these very high winds, and that's obviously the exception here. Again, that was 19 minutes ago, actually, when we had that. If there's any videos, photos, anything like that, if anybody know of, definitely make sure to let me know. But I don't know if we have any photos on that. Here's a look at the velocities as of right now, by the way. Let's go hop over to this. Let me go ahead and bring over the velocities. And as of right now, not seeing a whole lot, but the highest wind gust maybe over here. We also have an outflow boundary back out to the north of this that may be producing the winds as well. You can kind of see it's right back up this direction. That is your outflow boundary, likely to produce more storm activity as well, may produce more strong downburst winds along with that. So that's kind of what we're looking at as of right now. As it moves off again to the north, it's definitely a very impressive cell, though, to say the least. And again, we are in Colorado, and again, 87 mile per hour wind gusts. Kind of really crazy to think that we saw that with this storm. Hey, severe weather for southeastern Wisconsin. Not today, Antonia. And I don't expect much tomorrow. Here's the outlook, by the way, for the next couple of days. I'll kind of go over some other stuff in this live stream. Since I've already started it, might as well go over some other stuff that's going to be happening over the next few days in the United States. But again, as of today, this is your threat level. So again, slight risk through, again, the locations I already mentioned, western Wisconsin, southeast Minnesota, and northern Iowa. Again, we may see a couple of storms start to begin to fire up there. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way. It is a considerable warning still for 70 mile per hour damaging winds, and as well as quarter-sized hail. Again, that is a brand new warning. So it is no longer warned for up to 90 mile per hour winds, but obviously 70 miles per hour is still high enough. But this is, again, a look at today. Tomorrow, we're going to start to see a little little area of severe weather down in Arizona. Again, that's just gonna be sporadic damaging winds, if anything. Other than that, not a whole lot of organized severe weather is expected tomorrow. Going into the following day, into Monday, as of right now, no severe weather is forecasted. That very well could change, though, so we'll keep you updated again with the latest on that. Here is a look at the next 5 days. We do have an area. Actually, this is an update from the National Hurricane Center. We do have an increased threat on this area. So now 40% chance of this tropical system basically developing over the next 5 days in the eastern Atlantic Ocean. And this will be something to watch very closely. Again, this may go possibly towards the Lesser Antilles. We'll have to wait and see. Again, we've not seen an area development within the last month or so. So that is a new update from the National Hurricane Center that must have literally just come in. But obviously, that's going to be something to kind of keep in mind as well. By the way, we do have a flash flood warning here for La Huta as well. Yes, 90-mile-per-hour wind. We had a report from the AUSA station. That was recorded data of an 87-mile-per-hour wind gust. So that is our latest on that. I'll hop over to here. Let's go over to the also there's actually something else to know. We do have tomorrow. Let me go and see if I can find it on here. We have a fire outlook. I don't know if the fire outlook has anything, but not for today. I was going to look at the excessive rainfall totals tomorrow are going to be pretty significant. I need to figure out where that is, though, here on this real quick. Tomorrow, though, is going to be possibly a bad day for Wisconsin and as well as possibly Illinois for flash flooding. I just got to find the thing on here. I don't know if it's on here. Can't remember. We do have the drought monitor. Actually, Colorado is currently in a lower end drought as of right now. But other than that, the drought is still ongoing across the southwestern United States. Here's a look at the temperatures over the last 24 hours. Cooler temperatures. You can see the big temperature contrast here. Look how much cooler temperatures are up in the northern plains right now. Look at this. It's talking about 20 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, I'm not able to find, it looks like, the data that I'm looking for here. Oh, here it is. Never mind, I found it. Here's a look at the next 24 hours. This is today. Tomorrow, there is a moderate risk of flash flooding in Milwaukee, Madison, basically southern and southeastern Wisconsin. There's, again, a moderate risk of flash flooding tomorrow. And I know some of you guys are from this area. Definitely stay safe. We're definitely looking at potential for some flash flooding here in south and southeastern portions of Wisconsin. There is a slight risk outside of that. We actually have a special weather statement back up near Wasu, Rib Mountain, actually. Rib Mountain. Sounds pretty good. But other than that, again, moderate risk of flash flooding tomorrow and today, or tomorrow as well. There's gonna be another chance for flash flooding down back in Colorado. But unfortunately, it looks like a little bit of a flash flooding threat may be coming there tomorrow. Here's a look at the estimated rainfall totals for tomorrow, actually. I'm not sure if it'll tell me how much that is, but it looks to be potentially somewhere around 4 to 5 inches, possibly near Baraboo, northwest of Madison. So obviously, we're definitely looking at some pretty significant rainfall tomorrow in those areas. And that's, again, not something that those areas need, especially flash flooding. Obviously, we've had flash flooding concerns across Kentucky and whatnot. We have that actually ongoing still, but looks like that threat should be winding down over the next couple of days. See you later, clocks. Hey, that's good to hear, Tom. That's good to hear. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not the same for everybody, but good to hear that there's no wildfires really in Colorado. East of Fort Dodge, we have a little area. Let me take a look at this. This storm may have a little bit of rotation. Take a look. Looks like we have a little bit of rotation here. For Fort Dodge. Take a look a little bit closer. Yeah, look, there might be a little bit of rotation here. Correlation coefficient's not picking up on anything on the ground or anything, but there's possibly a little bit of rotation there. It's again north of Webster City, up in currently Iowa. So something to watch a little bit closely. Again, the south doesn't look overly impressive. Let me go back over to the radar. Let's turn off the low def. There we go. So yeah, I mean, this storm is outflow driven, so I think the chances of it having a tornado is very low, but I'll have to watch that kind of closely. Again, this cell currently with a little bit of rotation, but a little bit. Take a look at the latest few scans. We'll take a look in past time here for a second. Might also be a little bit of congestion with the radar, but kind of been there for a while. I kind of find it hard to believe that we would have a tornado. I think we would have a tornado warning earlier if it was really rotating. Let's look at the higher levels. That'll give us a better idea here. So again, near Webster City, here's a look at the base velocities at the lower levels. That looks to be something. I mean, it's rotating in the higher levels too. Again, that's near Woolstock. Not sure if we have any reports on this yet. But that's quite interesting. A little bit of rotation here. Hey, Brad, how you doing? Welcome. I'll keep an eye on that, but that might be, again, correlation coefficient wasn't showing anything, so it's probably not on the ground if there was anything there, but we'll have to watch that pretty closely. Again, we're back over in Colorado, though, right now. Again, this storm produced a wind gust of 87 north of La Junta. Now it is down to 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds as of right now, but we'll, again, be watching it pretty closely as it moves off to the northeast. Hey, Sniper, how you doing? Welcome back. The state where we're just in was Iowa, where there's a little bit of rotation, but there's no tornado warning yet. We'll keep you updated, though. That rotation was there for the last several scans, so I'd be kind of surprised. Let me take a look at another radar site on this, because I'm really shocked. We'll have to take a look at a couple radar sites, though. They're all pretty far away from each other. I'm not seeing much from this radar site, per se. They're all very far away, though, from each other here. I mean, there's a little bit there. Again, this storm's kind of has a little bit of rotation here. Just surprised it's not warned. But again, correlation coefficient was not picking up on anything. If we go back a few scans here, I'll take a look real quick, but I don't think there was anything there. Again, it's outflow driven, so it's very difficult for tornadoes to develop to begin with. But I'm not seeing anything that really that pronounced here in terms of at least the correlation coefficient. But other than that, I mean, there is definitely a little bit of rotation there. But overall, you can kind of see the outflow boundaries. We got a couple here. Let me try to outline them here. So again, we got one right here, and then we got one down here. So it's kind of being out. It's again outflow-driven storm. It is typically very difficult for those sort of storms to really rotate that well, especially in the environment that they're in. But there isn't a whole lot of shear today up that direction either. So it's kind of hard for those things to rotate. It did have a little bit of a hook too. We'll watch it closely. We'll watch it closely for you. Again, back down to Colorado as of right now. We do have damaging winds around 70 and as well as core-sized hail. La Junta, again, was the area where we had an 87-mile-per-hour wind gust only about 25 minutes ago. So, again, that was pretty recent that we had there. Again, we will be monitoring that storm, again, any storms in Iowa very closely. That is the area where we do have a slight risk of severe weather. But overall, I did not see the strongest of... There was definitely rotation there, but... does seem to be at least somewhat broad. It is outflow driven, so again, that's probably why we're not getting a tornado warning. We do have a wind gust or wind damage report, excuse me, in La Junta of a power pole blown down. So that is our latest damage report over this direction. Again, near 50. That's Highway 50, Highway 350, and 109. And again, let's take a little bit of a closer look. So western portions of La Junta, Ontario County, Colorado, again, is where we're at. As our latest report. By the way, we do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. It's basically the only ones in Colorado as of right now. 1 special marine warning, 6 flash flood warnings, and 3 special weather statements is what we're currently at in terms of warnings. As of right now, no severe thunderstorm watches. Again, we may get one for Iowa, but I don't think we will at this point. We did have a mesoscale discussion. As of right now, there will be a potential for more storms over the next few hours here in Colorado. This is a look at it, so you can kind of see this is the area where they just put a mesoscale discussion out for. There are some strong, potentially close to severe storms back up near Highway 40, but as of right now, those are not warned. I'll have to watch those pretty closely as well, but besides that, we're not looking at any sort of watches, at least forecast, or really, planned at this point for any of these areas. Our next mesoscale discussion, as I mentioned before, comes out in 24 minutes, so we will at least be live until then. We'll see if anything happens in terms of all the severe weather. Obviously, there was some rotation on that Iowa storm, so watch that one closely as well. Thanks, Cam. Appreciate it. Anything for North Texas? No. North Texas, just the heat. Actually, today in DFW, we broke a 3-week streak in DFW today. At the DFW airport, today it did not hit 100 degrees for the first time in 3 weeks. So that is a big news for those areas. Obviously, DFW's been scorcher recently. So a strong rotating wall cloud is currently being reported up in Iowa. And again, there's been no tornado warning on it, so I'm kind of surprised. Oops. This is from 7:23. That was about 14 minutes ago. Again, I'm very surprised that we don't have a tornado warning on that storm up in Iowa. But it has been broadening a little bit. So, sorry to hear that, Sarah. Hope you get better soon. Thank you, Gaming, by the way, for subscribing. I appreciate it. putting this in the chat. By the way, we do have a flash sale on one of our merchandise items today. You can click the link in the pin message in the chat for 10% off. Use code FLASH. Hey Chuck, how you doing? Welcome. A max velocity tornado warning. No, we're not making up warnings. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning back up to the north of this for some ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. That is south of Lemon as well as west of Hugo. So again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning here. That is also going towards 71. Again, that's our brand new severe thunderstorm warning moving off to the east northeast. And that's also probably an outflow driven storm. Let's take a look at the velocities on this. We'll take a look and see if there's anything too crazy going on here. And it looks to be primarily comprised of winds. Again, it does look like it's outflow driven at this given time. So, but definitely some hail. You can see the couple of hail cores here. That is definitely some ping pong ball sized hail. We probably have a little bit more down here on the southern end as well. So we do have a little bit of hail ongoing with this cell. No tornado warnings yet. Nope. And there was, again, rotation. We had a report of a rotating wall cloud back up in Woolstock, Iowa. But again, we have had no tornado warning on that cell. And I retweeted it on our Twitter, by the way, if you want to take a look. Again, Twitter's linked down in the description below. Yeah, but it's pretty impressive. There's also a video on it. Take a look at it. Our latest report, though. Yeah, it's pretty impressive what that storm looks like. Definitely a lot of damaging winds, though, with that, most likely. I declare the warning. I wish I don't declare tornado warnings if they're not given. Unless there's actually a confirmed tornado or something like that, or very strong rotation. But I'll take a look at the velocities again. We'll go take a look. Let's check it out again. I do think the rotation was weakening on it anyways. This is a look at the storm that had a little bit of rotation. I do think it's weakening. Yeah, it's not nearly as pronounced. It's definitely broader. It's not strong anymore. It's weak. But again, this storm had more rotation before. I mean, it could have been potentially tornado warning there, maybe briefly, but obviously they did not issue a tornado warning. We actually do have some storms, by the way, in southeast Minnesota right now. These currently are strong, not severe, but definitely some high winds with these. I would expect some potentially gusty winds, maybe up to 50 to 55 right now near Stewartsville. Seen as well, Iota, going toward Chatfield and St. Charles and Plainview. Those areas will be on the track of that. Potentially some gusty winds with those, but again, not severe thunderstorm warning yet. We've had actually only one or two, I think maybe we actually had 3 or 4 warnings now tonight in terms of severe weather back up there in Iowa, but so far it's been, for the most part, pretty minimal in terms of the warnings. We do have a hail core actually developing here back near 101, currently south of this town that I'm not going to be able to pronounce, but that is currently moving off to the northeast as of right now. And Haswell, again, Blue Lake, Hasty, Arlington, John Martin Reservoir, Fort Lyon, and Kadoa, all in the track of this. So, again, make sure you're staying away from windows. Definitely some large hail there. Hey, Sarah, how you doing? Welcome back. Can I check Louisiana? Nothing in terms of severe weather is going on in Louisiana right now. What cell is that, Chaz? What cell are you looking at? Is that the one back up here to the north? Yeah, it has to be this one. Yeah, this one has decent hail. Let's take a look at the hail radar. Take a look at it. Again, keys at the top of your screen. You can see probably at least, it might be actually as high as golf ball sized hail right now in this cell right now, moving off to the northeast. That's again going towards 71 and maybe toward Lemon and possibly toward Hugo later on, but definitely some pretty large hail here embedded with this storm. So most of the totals so far around $1/4 to $1/2 size, but we do have peaking sizes now around golf ball size as this moves off to the northeast. Again, west of 71 as of right now. Decent storm right now moving off that direction. And also, we do have a brand new flash flood warning that's just been issued for Ramah, as east of Callahan and south of Simla. There's a lot of weird names I can't pronounce here. Again, in Colorado. So a brand new flash flood warning. We'll take a look actually at how much rain we've seen so far. Let me take a look. Brand new radar update, by the way. This is outflow driven as well. No tornado threat likely with this, but we'll take a look at the let's take a look at the flash flooding or flooding rain totals, I should say. I'm gonna take a look. This is the last 6 hours. Let's take a look. And by the way, it is 7:43, so this was 43 minutes ago, and yeah, we can definitely see there was at least 3 inches of rain or so, pretty close to it there, southeast of 24. So yeah, we've seen some pretty high rainfall totals in this direction. We're probably at least at 3 inches now, if not maybe about 4 inches. And back down here where the other flash flood warning is, obviously there's a lot more mountainous region, but around possibly an inch or two. Obviously that total is going to go up because, again, we've had 45 minutes of rain without it being recorded. So just something to keep in mind. We've definitely seen some high rainfall totals, though, so far. And our highest rainfall totals have actually been in New Mexico. And back up here, actually, in Iowa, you can see there's been some rainfall totals as high as 3 inches. Right there along Highway 18. So, again, definitely a lot of rain coming out of this. Again, there is a moderate risk of flash flooding in southeastern portions of Wisconsin tomorrow. So, we'll have to watch that pretty closely as well. But today, not nearly as much of a flash flooding concern. We're going to have more of one, though, heading into tomorrow. Again, southeastern and southern Wisconsin, areas like Milwaukee are going to have a better chance of that tomorrow. Hey, Pac-Man, how you doing? Hey, Trex. Sierra, yeah, I have, but I've never watched them. I think the storm back off to the northwest is probably producing golf ball sized hail. But again, there might be an update on it actually. We do have a new damage report coming in on this cell. Again, this is, if you're just tuning in, this cell produced a 87 mile per hour wind gust back up just to the north of La Junta. So that was in Chilrow. So in Ontario, Colorado, Ontario County, Colorado, there's an 87 mile per hour wind gust. But along with that, 2 power poles were blown down over in Rocky Ford at 7:05 p.m. Central. And we, again, at 7:11 Central, we also had a report of, this is a corrected damage report of a power pole was blown down. So that was, again, over in La Junta. Other than that, though, the storm has been downgraded since then to 70 mile per hour damaging winds, currently moving off really to the east and east-northeast. This storm actually might go towards areas like Lamar and maybe even closer, to Wiley. Those areas may be on the track here over the next several minutes. But again, pretty impressive cell in terms of the damaging wind component. Back out to the north, though, this storm back up here near 71. And again, south of Lemon is currently likely producing golf ball sized hail and 60 mile per hour damaging winds. And here's again a look at the velocities as of right now. Highest winds are currently just down to the south of Highway 24. And beyond that, the hail core as of right now, again, is currently located west of 71, moving off to the northeast. And look at that. Yeah, we're probably at least increasing in hailstone sizes here. And now it's estimated around hen egg size. So we are definitely looking at some pretty large hail here. No problem, Rogue. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you're doing well. WPC said there's a high risk is possible tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised with how much rain there may be tomorrow. It may get upgraded. Let me look at let me go ahead and take a look at the rainfall estimates here tomorrow. Let me go back over to the live radar though first. There you go. Again, this is the hail core as of right now, possibly up to hen egg size. Again, warned currently for lesser than that, but I will take a look at tomorrow and see how much rainfall we might actually be seeing. Yeah, near the La Crosse area, we might get as much as 7 to 8 inches tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a day where we might have a lot of rain. So we have a new report from yesterday. This was a delayed report over in Longview, Texas. The National Weather Service confirmed a downburst winds with 105 mile per hour sustained winds. That was from yesterday. But it was a confirmed report at 3:08 p.m. Central Time over in Longview, or Gregg County, Texas. Yeah, Gregg County, Texas, in Longview. There was a report of a downburst with maximum sustained winds at 105 miles per hour. 5 buildings sustained roof damage. That is insane. That is insane. That, again, was yesterday, but man, 105 mile per hour winds. That's insane. Again, we already had an 87 tonight, and that was obviously not forecasted, but we did have an 87 mile per hour wind gust not too long ago. Thank you, Margie, excuse me, for subscribing. Appreciate it. 105 miles per hour. That's insane. That is insane. Again, as of right now, we do have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. I forgot to update the count. Again, we do have 7 flash flood warnings and 2 special weather statements. Obviously, we did have a rotating wall cloud earlier. We actually had 2 reports of that within the cells back up there in Iowa, but obviously both of them currently are not ongoing. But there was one recently about 10 minutes ago. There was one also about an hour or 2 ago. So yeah, this storm I think is going to get upgraded to something. Let me take a look if it's not upgraded yet. As of right now, it's still ping pong ball sized hail. This storm may get upgraded though for hailstone size. I'll have to wait and see. New day one outlook. Thank you, Slippy. All right, let's take a look. I don't know if it comes out on this that early, but we'll take a look. I don't think it's come out yet. I'll have to wait a second. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting for. I'm kind of curious to see what the day one outlook is for the rest of today. But we'll see what happens. Is there any major changes? I'll have to take a look at Discord. Oh, okay, there we go. Doesn't look like anything too major in terms of a change here. Still a slight risk for western Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa. Marginal threat goes all the way through Colorado still. The risk actually is kind of taking a weird turn here. This is the current risk right now. Issued. The risk is going to change though. It's still going to include a good portion of Nebraska, but it's going to cut out a basically western areas is going to be cut out. It's going to extend a little bit more down into this area here. And that's kind of what we're going to look at. It's going to be a pretty straight line up here through Nebraska, though. That's the latest outlook. Again, that will be coming out here in a few minutes. That's just the early report, again, from the Storm Prediction Center. That's our latest update. It's pretty crazy. Again, today's severe weather event, not nearly as crazy as what we've seen in the past. We've seen some really crazy. Well, yesterday was actually pretty active up there in South Dakota. Hey, Shell, how you doing? Welcome back. Again, just a friendly reminder, if you're tuning in and you want to purchase some merchandise, again, our merchandise store is officially open. You can click the link actually in my preview message in the chat. It's also, I think, linked in the description. We officially have merchandise now. So we do a flash sale going on, 10% off for that product. Again, it's an exclusive drop. You can click the previewed message at the in the chat room if you want to purchase that. But other than that, again, it's completely optional. Just wanted to mention that. We do have a little flash sale going on until the end of the stream tonight. Who knows how long this will even be. Probably won't be too long, but we'll see. See what happens. And I don't want to really be live for anything that's not needed, but we do actually have some pretty decent sells out there, so we'll probably stay live here for maybe an hour or so. We'll see what happens. Again, we might have some developments back up there in Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. There's a slight risk still with the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook, so we may start seeing some severe weather, but as of right now, it's remained at this point at a low end up that direction. The most severe weather that we saw was actually earlier really the late afternoon was when we saw our last warning. So we have not seen a warning here in a little while, but we'll have to wait and see what happens up that direction. Again, the cell that we're currently looking at is in Colorado, south of Lemon, currently producing ping pong ball sized hail and damaging winds around 60. There's also one down to the south producing 70-mile-per-hour winds. I'm trying to get over to the hail radar again, see if we have any new updates on the hail. And yeah, I mean, we're probably talking potentially some maybe hen egg sized hail. Might even be, I mean, I can't rule it out. We might even be as high as some tennis ball sized hail. So that's possibly what we're looking at here on this cell. Definitely some very large hail though as of right now. Moving off to the northeast. Again, no new updates yet from the National Weather Service, but we'll see what happens. A warning still for ping pong ball sized hail. Definitely can't rule out though it's a little bit larger than that. So just stay away from windows if you're embedded in the storm. And that's what we're looking at right now. We'll be back over to the chat. Thanks, Virginia. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing merch, but people kept asking. Oh, yeah. Also, if you're a member, you can get the membership keychains. They're really cheap. They're actually very affordable. So if you want to get a membership keychain, I basically don't make anything off of it. It's just for your keepsake. So you can also check that out. I think it's like $5. It's not much. Very Timmer would love to be there. I wouldn't doubt it. Look at this latest radar update, by the way. Look at that hail core. That is definitely a growing hail core right there, heading towards 71. We may very well get an upgrade on this warning shortly. This is definitely some very large hail moving off towards 71 right now. I don't know if we have a whole lot of storm chasers or spotters in this area. Again, I mean, it's not nighttime yet. It's definitely still sun out there, so I would not be surprised if we have somebody out there. But man, that is definitely some very large hail that we're looking at there, going towards 71. In very large hail right there. Possibly, again, hen egg plus sized hail there. South of Lemon. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, this hail is definitely very large, though. I mean, we're probably going to get an update on this warning here pretty shortly. I mean, it could get upgraded to something pretty significant here. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's not going to be significant beyond, like, baseball size, but we might get an upgrade on this warning. We'll wait and see. Again, the warning expires at 8 o'clock, but we'll obviously get an extension on this as long as the hail obviously on goes, unless something else gets reported. But I mean, the radar has been fairly accurate so far, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get an upgrade. Again, back down to the south as of right now, we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning over here for 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. does not seem to be nearly as much of a wind threat as once prior to this, but this storm probably won't get warned again. But we'll wait and see. Again, the warning is still ongoing for another 52 minutes for 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So that's what's ongoing there as of right now. Here's a look at that outflow boundary as of right now, kind of attached or just kind of just off the storm right now. That's, again, moving off to the east. Let me go over to see what the lapse rates are here in Colorado today. That might actually help to kind of determine what the hail threat may be with this storm. And warning still ongoing for another 6 minutes. Let me take a look at the lapse rates. Ooh. And the lapse rates are actually pretty decent over here in Colorado today. Not really in this part. The highest lapse rates are really with these initial storms, but they're around 8 degrees Celsius per kilometer, which is pretty decent lapse rate. Means the air parcel's rising pretty quickly here in the atmosphere. Let me go back over here. Free Timber would love to be there. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that at all. Yeah, if you're just tuning in for the first time, hit the like button down below. Make sure to subscribe. We are very close, actually, to 15,500. We are very close. So make sure to hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it. Oh, we actually have hit it. Never mind. Thank you for subscribing. Didn't realize it. All right, let me go back up to the north real quick. Apparently, we have a little bit of rotation, potentially on a cell up this direction. We'll take a look. Somewhere embedded in this line. He's mentioning there might be a little bit of rotation here. Not seeing a whole lot. Over to the base velocity here. What storm is that on? Is that on somewhere in here? This line? St. Charles? That's up here. I'm not seeing a whole lot of rotation. Maybe a scan ago. We'll take a look. This will be damaging winds. Yeah, no, not any rotation on this. It's definitely damaging winds with the cell right now, moving off to the east. Never mind. I just mentioned it. We do have a rainfall total coming in, by the way, in Rochester of just over an inch of rain. So it's our most recent report. We do have a line of storm still ongoing there. That, again, very well may become more severe as it goes, as we go throughout the evening. We'll be getting a new severe thunderstorm warning most likely within the next 2 minutes here on this storm. So we'll give you an update on the hail core with this. Again, the hail may be as high as tennis balls, but we're not entirely sure. Tennis ball sized hail, not out of the question. Hey Moxie, how you doing? Back. I wasn't actually planning on going live. I actually just came live because of that 87-mile-per-hour wind gust that we saw. But actually, the hail core looks like it kind of weakened a little bit on this latest scan. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the next one. But outflow boundary is kind of moving off to the east now. That may help this hail core weaken a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see. Instability obviously very high in this region. Along with the lapse rates. The lapse rates, again, are around 8 degrees Celsius per kilometer. That is a decent lapse rate for hail tonight. As maybe as high as, again, maybe head egg size or so. That might be the peak. We'll have to wait and see. Warning does expire in 3 minutes, so we're gonna do one here pretty shortly. Yeah, we had an 87-mile-per-hour wind gust confirmed down close to portions of where was it? It was La Junta in Colorado. 87-mile-per-hour wind gust, pretty crazy to say the least. Hey, for all subscribing, by the way, appreciate it. Thank you, John and Nick. Stelio, thank you guys for subscribing. Alicia. Or Tealish. And by the way, we do not have anything on the severe weather outlook for Monday as of right now. So, some good news, but obviously there isn't much tomorrow either. If you're in southern Arizona, maybe a little bit of damaging winds. Other than that, any severe weather that happens tomorrow is going to be extremely isolated. I mean, we're not really looking at much severe weather tomorrow. Again, if you have not watched my latest forecast, make sure to check it out. We have the latest tropics update. We do have something brewing in the eastern Atlantic Ocean. Actually, that little system is going to be coming off of Africa probably tonight or tomorrow morning. So very well will probably start to develop over the next couple of days, and that will eventually possibly come towards land going into potentially later this upcoming week. So that'll be something to watch pretty closely as well. Severe weather not out of, or excuse me, the hurricane's not out of the question with that. Maybe get our first tropical storm, or named storm, I really should say, of the month of August. We only had one last month. That's at the very beginning. Again, we haven't had any areas of development within the last about 30 days or so. It's been a very quiet last 30 days in terms of the tropics. All right. When will the hurricane hit? Well, as of right now, there's a lot in between now and then. I don't expect the hurricane to, I mean, if there were to be a hurricane, which again, the chances are still low, but the tropical storm chances are definitely a little bit higher. Again, it's a 40% chance of developing over the next 5 days. It likely will develop by day 5 or 6. It won't develop most likely in the next 48 hours. But the chance of it coming toward the United States seem to be low as of right now. I'm not really expecting that to happen, but it may become, you know, it possibly could. It's going to depend on the shear in the Caribbean, basically. That's kind of what it comes down to at this point. And we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. But as of right now, it is currently not expected to go toward the United States. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. That is actually down in Arizona for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. That does include Douglas, Portal, basically Douglas Airport, Pernalville, McNeil, and Rucker Canyon. So brand new warning there. That's moving down to the west and southwest right now at about 30 miles per hour. So this is the area where we've been having some monsoon weather recently. And there's obviously a warning down there. Again, that's where we might see some severe weather tomorrow. I will not be going live tomorrow, by the way. So just a heads up. I have not yet, Kate. I want to go storm chasing, though, here pretty soon. I'll probably have a storm chasing stream at some point in the future. I have no clue, Darren. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't hear anything about that. So I'm not entirely sure. Again, if you didn't hear already, we actually just had a confirmation not too long ago. There was a 105-mile-per-hour downburst wind in Longview, Texas yesterday. So that was our most recent really report in terms of very high damaging winds. We've not had a downburst wind that high in a long time. There's no new warning on this, by the way, so we might actually not get a new severe thunderstorm warning. We're now down to 2. We'll see what happens. Again, we might get a new warning here pretty shortly, but that hail core did look like it kind of fizzled out. We'll wait and see. The storm right now near Las Animas is currently going off to the northeast and east. That is again producing potential for quarter-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So that's what we got going as of right now. Severe weather for this Monday. As of right now, nothing forecasted for Monday for severe weather. At least in terms of an organized severe weather event. Thank you for everybody that's purchased actually merchandise today. I didn't realize how many people wanted to purchase merchandise, but I appreciate everybody supporting the merchandise store. Appreciate it. And we do have a flash sale going on, as I mentioned before. Click the top link in the preview chat. Use code FLASH for 10% off on that specific product. That is, again, only until the end of the stream. A lot of demand for the hail sticker, so it is on sale. 10% off. Man, that actually, the damage in Longview is pretty insane. Again, there was about 105-mile-per-hour wind gust yesterday in Longview. Trees literally fell down. I mean, it's crazy to think. There's some crazy stuff there. Moxie, I know the name for it. It's not on the top of my head, but I remember what that is. I'm trying to think of what it is. It's some sort of, I remember, I have to look through my email. I learned that in college. I can't remember what it is though. Can't remember the exact name. But there's a name for it. Thank you, Sarah, for the $2 super chat. Thank you, Davin, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. I was looking for northeast Indiana. Nothing today. I think there might be isolated storms tomorrow, though, if I'm not mistaken. But no severe weather in that area over the next 2 days. Thank you, Chuck, as well as John, by the way, for subscribing. I appreciate it. There wasn't even a risk for Texas. Yeah, I don't exactly know where that came from. I'll have to look more into the Longview thing, because I only just heard about it now. Donations are going to go wild again. No, they're not going to go wild. Again, this live stream probably is going to end in 20 minutes, but we'll see what happens. If anything starts to develop more, again, I'm not going to go live. I'm not going to stay live for anything that's kind of minimal. But, oh, we actually do have a new warning. Maybe I'll be live for a while. We do have a new warning for 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds and ping pong ball-sized hail. A brand new warning on this cell. This was the one that had maybe an increase of hailstone size. Again, this is moving off to the northeast, going toward Lemon and Hugo, toward Highway 287. Again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds and ping pong ball-sized hail. Definitely a storm to watch very closely. Thank you, Sarah, for the $5 super chat, by the way. I appreciate it. Welcome. Or thank you. I don't know why I just said welcome. Appreciate it. Anything in Pittsburgh? No, nothing in Pittsburgh either. Again, no organized severe weather is expected beyond today for at least the next couple of days, and I don't really expect much at all next week, to be honest with you. If anything, it's gonna be very small risks overall. I mean, today, for example, it's just a small slight risk backed up there in western Wisconsin and whatnot, but there just isn't much. I mean, it's a pretty organized line of storms. It's just nothing is severe up there right now. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Let's go to the velocities on this storm real quick. I'm curious to see. The highest wind gusts as of right now are probably over there south of Lemon, probably embedded in this little area. It might also be imposed with that outflow boundary as well. And you can see the outflow boundary. It is a little bit hard to see on radar. It's probably going through here, but that is your outflow boundary as of right now. Again, that's currently tracking down to the south and east. So an outflow boundary will help to kind of keep the storm alive over the next couple of hours. Yeah, I'll look into the 105 mile per hour Longview storm actually now. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, there was again yesterday there was a 105 mile per hour downburst wind in Longview, Texas. So I'll take a look. I'll look at the CBS article here. All right, it was actually a thunderstorm. So the thunderstorm generated a downburst, which first produced damage by downing tree limbs along Texas Loop 281 and US Highway 80. The downburst then did a shingle damage to 5 buildings in the Pinehurst apartment complex. The most intense damage occurred just west of the apartment complex on Pat Drive in US Highway 80. In this location, there are approximately 15 trees snapped and 30 trees uprooted. So that was all from a 105 mile per hour downburst wind. That is insane. Now, obviously, typically downburst winds are not, they don't extend too far. Hey, John, how you doing? Welcome back. We're currently in Colorado. Thank you, Sarah, again, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. By the way, I am retweeting some stuff on our Twitter. Again, if you want to check that out, you can click one of the links down in the description below. There are some pretty cool photos coming out of these storms, actually, that are currently ongoing. And this is the one that was currently producing 70 mile per hour damaging winds and ping pong ball sized hail. Again, it is moving off to the northeast. And by the way, we do have 8 total flash flood warnings right now. So there's obviously a little bit of a flash flooding concern ongoing. Again, more of a flash flooding concern expected tomorrow in southern and southeastern Wisconsin. I'll likely have a video on that, by the way, tomorrow. And again, if you're just tuning in, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I would appreciate it. We're on the road to 16,000 subscribers. We're currently in Colorado, Silas. We're currently in Colorado. That is actually where all the severe weather, for the most part, has been so far today. The only exceptions are a couple of storms in Wyoming, which produce winds up to 70, and also a couple of storms from earlier back up in northern Iowa. But overall, those storms, again, it's more of a line right now, but nothing really severe up that direction right now. Hey, Squidward, how you doing? Welcome back. Random, that might have been from Squidward or from Jaws, so I don't think that's from me. I blocked you on your tablet? I don't know what that means. All right, let me go over to, let's go over to Twitter real quick. Thank you, Squidward, for the 2 gifted memberships. Hey, I appreciate that, Squidward. Thank you very much. Appreciate your gifting memberships again. We are currently up to 324 memberships. If you got a membership, by the way, make sure to thank Squidward in the chat. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Welcome back. There's a strong bow echo, no warnings. Are you talking about the ones back up in Iowa? The storms look pretty impressive back up in Iowa, but I don't think there was much wind on it. It's actually a pretty pronounced line of storms, though, right now. It's developing. It has the potential to maybe become severe pretty soon. Wait and see. Thank you, Josh, for the $10 super chat, too. What is going on with y'all's support recently? I mean, literally, the last 3 days have been insane. I appreciate that, Josh. Thank you. Yeah, we typically have, I mean, on average, with most of the severe weather events, we're pretty much almost always around 8 to 1,000 viewers on average concurrently, but it varies. I mean, one like tonight, we're not looking at a whole widespread event by any means. It's pretty much just a lot more sporadic activity. But we typically have a little bit more. But again, it's a pretty low-end event tonight. But we have actually some pretty decent cells out there. Again, this is the most concerning one on the map as of right now. Again, producing that threat for ping pong ball size hail and damaging winds around 70. Moving off to the northeast, again, Hugo and Lemon are both included. But we might get a new warning up there in southeast Minnesota here pretty shortly. We'll see. That storm was starting to produce maybe a little bit of damaging winds. Thank you, Jason, by the way, and Kelly for subscribing. I appreciate it. Random, it was probably somebody else. I did give 10 memberships, but I don't think it was me that gifted one to you. I mean, Jaws gifted, I think at this point he's up to 155 or 175 gifted members total. He's up to 175, I think. So yeah, Jaws has gone insane. Again, our member count is up here. We get to 350 members tonight, which I don't think we will, but I might do a little big flash sale on something. Still a lot of support though recently. I really do appreciate everybody's support. You know, we actually there was a lot more merchandise sales than I expected this morning. I woke up to a bunch on our first day, by the way. And again, we do have a flash sale going on. The previewed message again is where you can check out our merchandise. Again, it is a new release. We literally have new merchandise. Again, we've never done merchandise before until today. So if you purchase anything, I do appreciate it. Helps our page out a lot. Do a dance. I'm not dancing. I can't dance for my life. Yeah, Colin, the winds, they look kind of high, but I don't think they're that high. I mean, it shows around that 65 to 70 mile per hour mark, but I don't think they're up to that much. Let me take a look at the METAR data. We'll take a look at the wind gusts and see if there's actually any airports down here. I don't think there is. There's one down near La Junta. Again, this is the area where we had an 87 mile per hour wind gust reported earlier. Back over near Rochester, most recently in this area of storms, 33 and 37 are the wind gusts that we've had. There's no airports in this area, so obviously we can't get an immediate estimate on those winds, but I would assume it's between 45 to 55. I don't think it's over 55 though right now. Well, we'll wait and see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a warning up that direction. The line of storms has really becoming organized over the last several minutes, so we'll have to wait and see. Appreciate that, Trex. Appreciate it. For your support. Thanks, D. I appreciate it. Honestly, the only merchandise items that I actually kind of liked on there was kind of like the Max Velocity logo stuff. They didn't look too bad, the sticker especially. But I think more than anything, we're going to do stickers more than anything because they're more affordable. And I think more people like collecting stickers anyway. So I might do more sticker designs and stuff more than anything. Here's a look at a photo, by the way, that we have coming in over on Twitter. This is from Arizona, I believe. This is the impressive line of storms over in Sierra Vista, Arizona. So very impressive cloud photo here. Very impressive. Very beautiful too. So an update from the La Crosse National Weather Service. As of right now, the winds are currently around 45 miles per hour. That's currently the estimate. Wind gusts around 45 through 10 p.m. But they could exceed a little bit more than that. We'll have to wait and see. Heavy rain with 1 to 2 inches per hour is also possible. Again, a flash flooding threat will definitely come into play more tomorrow. So we're currently forecasting. Thanks, Trex. I appreciate it. I think Trex, I'm pretty sure you're one of my first ever donors on the page, which is crazy. You've been here for a while. Sarah, I don't have the names off the top of my head, but I'm not going to say actual people's names because they're not like people's names in the chat. I think you were probably one of the only people. Kind of personal information. I think we've already had 7 orders though now, so kind of crazy. I think we're up to 7 or 8. But obviously I haven't checked since, so we might be up to more. Jennifer, the only thing about merchandise is I wasn't going to do it, but people kept saying it, so I said, whatever. And the only thing I'm really going to sell, though, is things that are, like, under $20. I'm not really planning on selling shirts and stuff either. Like, maybe stickers or keychains, that sort of thing. Very small things. I'm not going to do anything that big, most likely. Because I don't want people to waste money on, like a t-shirt that has 2 words on it for, $50 or $30 or whatever it might be. Just kind of a waste of money. Storms currently tonight are in Colorado. We've had some in Wyoming from earlier. Also, the organized line of storms right now, not severe though yet, is up in portions of Iowa as well as Minnesota. And it's about to move into Wisconsin here pretty soon. So we'll be watching that pretty closely as well. Flood watch in Denver does happen 1 to 2 inches. I mean, we sometimes, I mean, Denver probably won't see a whole lot of rain tonight. It looks like you're probably clearing out right now. The risk for severe weather tonight has actually been updated. Here's an updated look at it. So it is kind of quite weird. You can kind of see a big marginal risk through this area, but it is a very thin area. Obviously, we might see some storms develop here just east of Denver over the next few hours. We do, again, have a few storms ongoing as of right now. Our slight risk of severe weather for that line of storms is still ongoing back up here. And that has obviously been condensed a little bit, but it does still include western Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa. If the storms are able to start producing higher downbursts and whatnot, we very well may see some of these get warned here pretty soon. But as of right now, it is still unwarned line of storms up that direction. But we'll have to watch that again very closely. Here's a look at the infrared imagery, by the way. I've kind of shown this in the last few streams, but this is kind of a look at the evolution of this line. Just kind of blow up here over the last couple of hours. Pretty impressive. Hey, have a great night, Square. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, appreciate you're too gifted as well. Left Facebook 2 to 3 years ago. Haven't looked back. I've been on Facebook for a while. Yeah, definitely a pretty impressive, obviously, cluster of storms that's developed here. And back down here, obviously, we have a bunch of storms kind of developing here. Let me go and take the radar off here. You just kind of see how the storms exploded. And these are all, obviously, these ones over here are outflow driven. You can actually kind of see the outflow boundary helping for those air parcels to be able to rise, obviously, to create the clouds. So, very cool. Have a great night, Verzer. Appreciate you tuning in. All right, let me go back over to the live radar. I like to show it. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to watch it in motion. We actually might have some storms developing over actually in... Yeah, we had like a couple of little storms trying to develop there in Nebraska. Haven't really been successful. Here's a wide view of everything, by the way. I did this last night, but this is kind of just an explanation of what we got going as of right now. Let's go over to the water vapor. And here's a look at the water vapor as of right now. You can just see this big dry sector of air. It actually goes, it runs through all of New England as well. There's a dry sector of air here. We have that stationary front, really not moving much across portions of the Ohio Valley. Obviously, that's helping to spur up a bunch of these storm activity over here. And also, again, we have that ongoing low pressure system back off to the north. You can just see the enormous storm development here, which is obviously going to create the flash flooding concerns. Just so much water vapor. I mean, when we're looking at all that blue, that is an extreme amount of water vapor. Definitely going to help for that storm development. Back over here in Colorado, same thing. Obviously, it's not going to be nearly as extreme, but we have a lot of water vapor here too. So the dry sector obviously is kind of being hindered by the outflow boundary. But other than that, you can just see how dry it is. These darker oranges representing obviously a lot drier in terms of air over there in Oklahoma. So it's quite interesting. Go back over to the live radar here. And let's pause it. There we go. All right, there we go. Back over to the storm. Again, this one's currently producing 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds and ping pong ball size. Yeah. Pretty impressive storm as of right now. Oh, I must be talking about different Treks then. There's somebody else named Treks that donated a bunch at the beginning. Wisconsin radar, there's a lot of hail on it. I didn't see a whole lot of hail up there. I mean, if there's any hail, I mean, I don't really expect much of any hail up there in Wisconsin tonight. I think it's mostly going to be comprised of wind. I don't see the lapse rates being overly high tonight. Yeah, Aaron, I wasn't planning on going live, but there was a 90-mile-per-hour damaging windstorm at the very beginning. That's why I went live. Yeah, and this live stream probably won't be too long, but see what happens. Thank you up as well as Kathy and Angel for subscribing. Appreciate it. Welcome. Thank you, Kaden, by the way, for the $1 super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, by the way, this is a storm over in Arizona. Let me go back to it. Let me try to find it. This was from not too long ago over in Sierra Vista, Arizona. This is a look at the storm over that direction. Very cool looking photo here again of the storms developing. And you can kind of see the overshooting top too, kind of on the left side here. See the overshooting top over here. You also kind of see it up on the middle there. Very pretty photo, obviously, as mentioned before. That was taken. Yeah, the clouds are obviously, they've been very pretty over in Arizona. Obviously, a lot of storm activity and the flooding concerns are still ongoing there. We do have a brand new special weather statement for 55-mile-per-hour gusty winds, by the way, and a little bit dime-sized hail near Lamar. So that's our latest update. Again, still 2 flash flood warnings ongoing. Obviously, the rain's gonna be winding down here in La Junta. Again, this is the area where we saw an 87-mile-per-hour wind gust earlier at the very beginning of the stream at 7:07 p.m. Central Time. And along with that, obviously, some power poles down in this area as well. But beyond that, there has not been a whole lot of wind with this storm. It is still warned for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds as it moves into areas like Lamar. Again, this is the one other severe thunderstorm warning that we have ongoing besides the one over in Arizona. And we still have that line of storms back up in Wisconsin, Iowa, and as well as Minnesota. But those, again, not currently forecasted to really be severe, at least over the next hour. They very well may, but the chances still are pretty low right now. The infrared imagery is just beautiful on these storms, though. This is, again, I'll show it again. I like showing it. Looks so cool. The more impressive area is kind of over here. I wish I could go further than 2 hours back here, but maybe I can. Let me try to go. Let me see if I can go 2 hours back here. I don't think I can. No, I can't. So cool, though, watching it just kind of blow up here. Obviously, this is unfortunately going to lead to the flash flooding potential over the next several hours, too, where, again, a moderate risk of flash flooding exists down in Milwaukee and Madison for tomorrow. There's been a little bit of a report that it might get upgraded to high. I don't know if it will, but we may see as much as, 6 to 7 inches of rain in some spots tomorrow. It's going to be another significant rainfall day, it looks like, across portions of at least the Midwest in those areas. Yeah, this is, again, the storms that have blown up. And also, you can see the warnings from earlier, by the way. There was about 3 or 4 severe thunderstorm warnings. But beyond that, there's not been very many warnings over that direction. A lot of, obviously, you can see how high the cloud tops are, by the way. The white colors, again, representing very cold temperatures in the upper atmosphere, where the clouds kind of reach their peak. So you can very well see near Rochester and whatnot, there are some extremely high cloud tops. And back over here, they're not nearly as high, but they are definitely a little bit high there near Colorado Springs. All right, let me stop the radar again. Let's go back over to the live radar. Not going to play around with it too much, but pretty impressive over there. They said there was some rotation over there. I'll take a look there in a second. Hey, Kane, that's totally fine. Hey, anything that you want to support with, I really do appreciate it. Just watching the stream also is a huge help and support. I appreciate your support. Here's a look at the line, by the way. It is actually, again, it's been pretty impressive. It's mostly gusty winds, but overall, again, we've not seen much severe weather, at least with this portion of the line. Take a look at the cloud tops here on it. The echo tops, for example. So you can see right now around 50, actually, 50,000 feet or so. That's pretty high. But obviously not really producing a whole lot of wind. This line of storms, again, is not severe up this direction, but it is, the radar has been estimating above 60, I think. Go over the radar. Yeah, you can kind of see winds have been estimated as high as 58. Again, the METAR data has peaked around 40. So, and that was, again, a little bit off from the storms, but we've not seen a whole lot of, again, wind of a threat up this direction beyond the gusty winds. A lot of rain is unfortunately going to come with this. So, again, the rain is going to be much more of a concern than anything at this point up that direction. But obviously, that's why I mentioned flash flooding is going to possibly be extreme up that direction there in portions of Wisconsin, especially for tomorrow. But obviously, a low-end flash flooding threat still does exist both today and tomorrow in portions, again, of Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. So, it's something to watch pretty close. 2 miles per hour. No, actually, 58 miles per hour is considered severe. But obviously, we'll see if we ever actually do get a severe thunderstorm warning. But there hasn't been really any on them. Again, the latest data that we had on those storms was 37 and a 33 mile per hour gusts at airports. So haven't had much beyond that so far. Thank you, Dungeon, as well as Geneva, for subscribing. Appreciate it. If you're just tuning in for the first time, hit the subscribe button down below. I would appreciate it. Again, we do live streams like this all the time. And literally all the time. I would appreciate if you hit the subscribe button down below. We're only 3 from 15,650. Rotation near Stockton, Minnesota, last time I checked. I'll take a look in a second. All right, let me go up this way. Stockton, Minnesota. Guessing you're talking about up here, right? There's a little bit of rotation. It's not strong, though. It's definitely very broad. But there is definitely a possibility that we get something here. I mean, there's a little bit of an inflow. It's not very defined, though. Definitely not defined at all. But there's very broad rotation here, if anything. Up near, it's now near Goodview. It's not overly impressive. And most of this, again, is outflow driven. So the chances of some sort of QLCS tornado or something like that is probably very low at this point. But obviously, very pronounced line of storms, as I mentioned before. It's really not that severe, though. Beyond, obviously, maybe some gusty winds. That's more of a strong storm threat, though. All right. Go scan back? Okay. Hey, Sergeant, how you doing? We're currently up in Minnesota. Let me go back a scan, though, on this. Apparently, there might have been some rotation up here. Let's go over to the velocities. Let's go back a scan. Oh, yeah, there was actually some decent rotation potentially here near Stockton. This is the scan that we're talking about. Again, it's not tight. There very well may have been something extremely brief there, but obviously that is not tight. That's still, for the most part, broad. We skip one more scan forward. It's still at the kind of the same level. So honestly, thinking here, I don't think there was a tornado, but there was definitely a little bit of rotation there. Briefly, it's still there, but it seems at this point to not be overly strong. Near Goodview. Moving off to the east and northeast. Again, this line, none of it's severe as of right now, and most of it's just gusty winds. But it again, there was a little bit of rotation there briefly. Near La Crosse, Wisconsin, no, not as of right now. I think if anything for La Crosse, you're going to see some gusty winds, maybe some damaging winds up to 60. I appreciate it, Ken. Thank you, NWW, by the way, for the $1 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't really planning on going live tonight, but I did because we had that, again, that 87-mile-per-hour wind gust down here. Still have an ongoing severe thunderstorm warning just off into areas like Hasty, John Martin Reservoir, Fort Lyon, and Kadoa, again, for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Again, back off to the north of that, this warning is for another 4 minutes. I don't think we'll see this extended, but we'll see. It is still warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds and ping-pong ball-sized hail. I'll at least be live for the next 5 to 10 minutes, see if there's any big updates on these warnings. But if there isn't anything too crazy after this, I'll probably get off, but we'll see what happens. Like, I don't want to be live for no reason. Obviously, there's a reason, but it's not overly significant. Again, it's extremely isolated, so I don't want to have a bunch of people come by and say, you're live streaming nothing. Obviously, this isn't the most significant severe weather that we've ever seen. Last night was actually more crazy than this. Alma, Iowa, also seeing some rotation. I'll take a look in a second. And WOW, don't worry about it. Any amount is really greatly appreciated. It could be $1, it could be $3. I don't really care. All amounts really help a lot. So where else were we talking about rotation? Where's the location? Somewhere in Iowa. Elma. Is that down this direction? Closest radar site that we have is Des Moines. I'm not sure where Elma is. Is it kind of on this area here? I'm trying to figure out where Elma is. It's down here somewhere, though. It's in Iowa. Oh, Elma's up here. Yeah, there's maybe a little bit of broad rotation. It's not much. It's kind of on the back end. That wouldn't be really any rotation. It may be a little bit of just kind of a mixing and maybe a little bit of hail or something like that. Again, it's pretty far away from the radar site. Maybe if we go to this one, might be a little bit easier to see. Yeah, I'm not seeing much. It's more of maybe wind, though. We definitely have some winds. Gusting up actually to 60 right now near Elma. So there might actually be some damaging winds here. Again, we've not had any warnings yet, but there may be at least some 60-mile-per-hour winds there. Again, not a single severe thunderstorm warning, though, up that direction right now. It's kind of crazy to think how much severe weather that we have ongoing there. Or strong storms, excuse me, that we have ongoing there. The entire line. Play the Geo game again? No, I'm not going to play the Geo game. I have 725 viewers. I mean, the other stream that we had, we had 100, so it's a little bit different. So. Anything crazy for Phoenix? Tomorrow, there might be some isolated severe weather, 60-mile-per-hour winds, but nothing beyond that. I mean, it's going to be your typical monsoon season type weather, which is, again, pretty much just a sporadic damaging winds, maybe some isolated flash flooding and whatnot. Cedar Rapids, let me take a look. I don't think there's much up there though right now. Take a look. I think all the storms should stay off to your north, but we'll see. I think the storms for the most part are going to stay north of Highway 20 here. Probably going to, for the most part, stay up this direction. I can't rely on an isolated storm down to the south of that, but Cedar Rapids probably won't see much. Let's go back over here. We'll stay on this storm for now. Again, we might get a new warning here pretty shortly. I'm going to see what it is. Again, if it's not anything crazy, then probably on the stream, but we'll see. In Denver, Colorado, here's a photo of the clouds in Denver. Pretty interesting. I don't know what time this is at. What time is it at? 8:23. So about 5 minutes ago, actually, it was posted. I don't know if it was 5 minutes ago, but some pretty cool skies there as the storms kind of start to subside over there, and obviously a sunset approaching. So it's a photo over there in Colorado, in Denver, Colorado. Just P specific, I think it was. Yeah, Denver. So. Waverly? Where's Waverly at, Waze? All right, this warning's about to expire. We'll see if we get a new one. We actually might get a warning on this storm too over here north of Haswell, but seems like maybe there's a little bit of maybe small hail at this given time. Could potentially get up to quarter size. But see what happens on this warning. Again, this warning's about to expire. See you again later, NWW. Again, appreciate your super chat. See you again soon. Thank you, Sphenix, by the way, for subscribing. Again, if you have not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. I would appreciate it. We'll spread you out a lot. Hey, Jacqueline, how you doing? All right, let me go over to... Okay, so this warning is expired. We'll see if we get a new one here at any point. Again, this one's still ongoing for another 15 minutes. I will not cover this much, though. We'll see if we get a new warning in the next 3 minutes. If not, we'll probably end the stream. This is not intended to be a long stream since we don't have a whole lot of severe weather out there right now. But again, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. If you're ready to leave, I would appreciate it. You're pretty close to us. We're getting pretty close to 16,000 subscribers. So this will probably be the last live stream for at least a few days. I don't expect much severe weather over the next few days to begin with. We will be tracking more than anything the flash flooding concerns tomorrow, along with the potential for that tropical storm in the Atlantic Ocean. Again, if you want more details on that, it's on our latest forecast. So if you guys want something to kind of keep yourself busy with, again, check out our latest forecast. I'm going to spam it in chat a few times if you have not watched it already. I literally filled the entire chat with it. But if you guys want to watch our latest forecast, it has all the details on the tropics and what is going on right now. Because of the Atlantic Ocean, it's starting to brew. We're actually starting to see a system now develop off of Africa. And why should you be concerned right now? Well, it might actually come toward land. So we're going to have to watch that one pretty closely. But beyond that, flash flooding concerns tomorrow for Wisconsin, and as well as potentially extreme southeastern Minnesota and extreme northeastern Iowa is also a possibility near La Crosse area. So, see what happens. See you later, Sergeant. Appreciate you stopping by. Hey, Caden, how you doing? Welcome back. About the Atlantic Ocean. We do have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and dime-sized hail. So definitely a downgrade from before. That does include Hugo and Genoa. So those areas are included in the brand new severe thunderstorm warning. We may get one on this storm too. That is north of Haswell. But beyond that, not much there. And we're looking as of right now. Well, will we ever get a 10% chance for tornadoes again? Probably not in the short term. Maybe in a few months, but nothing in the next month probably, I would expect. It's always possible, but I think the chance of that is very low, especially during August. August is really one of the more elite, or it's like kind of like the least active month in terms of tornadoes, I think. It's not the least, but it's pretty close to it. Peak of the summer, peak of the heat. It's kind of harder for us to see tornadoes. All right. Thanks, Blue. I appreciate it. All right, so as of right now, again, we only have 3 warnings. That's gonna, oops, I keep doing that. That's gonna really do it for this stream. Again, it was only supposed to be a short one. I do appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure to like the video as well. Just a friendly reminder, again, I'll give you until about 10 o'clock, so another hour and a half. If you want to use that code FLASH for 10% off, it goes for the sticker. Again, it's an exclusive drop. It's only out for a week. It goes until 8-13, but you can get 10% off your purchase. That does include shipping as well as the price as well. You can see it's a hailing tennis balls emoji, but it's basically a sticker. Again, you can put that on whatever. It comes on this size, so you can put it on something like a laptop or a notebook. We also have a bunch of products. Again, we just released our store today. Make sure to check it out. If you are a member, you can get a membership keychain. It's under $5, by the way. It's very affordable. But beyond that, again, make sure to check that out. Again, click the link in the preview message in the chat. You can also go in the description below if you want to check that out. But otherwise, that is going to do it for the stream. I do appreciate, again, everybody stopping by tonight. Before you stop out, or before you leave, I should say, make sure, again, hit the like button and subscribe. Again, make sure to join our Discord server as well. Link will be in the chat for you. Again, if you have any questions off stream and whatnot, any questions about weather at all, make sure to join our Discord server. It's the best place to ask questions and whatnot. And again, you can find that link in the description below and whatnot. All right, I appreciate everybody stopping by. We'll do the outro just because, why not? Everybody loves the outro for some reason, so we'll do that. It's kind of a fun song. Obviously, severe weather is not nearly as much as what was forecasted, but it's always okay. Obviously, there was some strong storms, though, out there, so definitely had a decent stream, though. Obviously, 87-mile-per-hour wind gust early in La Junta, so there were some definitely decent storms. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and get offline. Appreciate you guys all stopping by. We'll see you again real soon. Have a great rest of your night, and stay safe.